Hello, and welcome back to another exciting edition of Maddie's Rap. I'm your host, the multiple award-winning author, Matt D. Talford, author of a couple of amazing books that I will tell you about at the end of this video. Because today, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on an introduction. I'm ready to jump into what could be one of the most provocative video subjects that I've ever done in the history of Maddie's Rap. Was the current rise of the divine feminine energy that we are experiencing in the earth right now prophesied in scripture? Was this current rise and return of divine feminine power foretold in scripture a few thousand years ago? I'm going to answer that question for you, but before I do, I just want to take just a minute to thank those of you who are returning subscribers. That's right, give yourselves a hand, because it is you who has helped this channel to grow to where it is today. We're currently sitting at over 800 subscribers, and I could not have done that without you all. So thank you for those of you who follow me on social media, Instagram right now, at Matt D. Talford. Thank you for those of you who send me words of encouragement either via instant messenger or in the comments underneath these videos. You guys don't know how much that means to me. Tackling subject matter like I do in some of these videos is not easy. It takes a lot out of me. And it's always nice to see that you guys appreciate the work, and always nice to get dialogue from you guys, whether I agree with it or if I don't agree with it. It's nice to get dialogue because we all learn together, we all grow together. Now, I want to get right through this intro. Oh, by the way, if you're new to this channel, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that by the end of this video, you will be so enthralled with the subject matter that you'll say, hey, I need to subscribe to this and slide my notification bell up to all, because I want to know the next time Matt's dropping a video, all right? This stuff does not come from me, it comes through me. I say that all the time. I learned from it too, and believe it or not, I go back and watch these videos and learn something new every time I watch a video that I recorded, okay? Now, again, divine feminine energy, divine feminine power. Let me give you the format and we're gonna jump right in. I'm gonna get through a brief description of divine feminine energy. From that, I'm gonna give you a scriptural foundation for today's topic, okay? I actually found this serendipitously, okay? I wasn't looking for this. This occurred to me. And those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that my whole format, my whole platform, 2022 and moving forward, is to uncover the spiritual nature of the Bible, the spiritual nature of the scriptures, the spiritual nature of the books that did not make it into the 66 book canon. This is spiritual, okay? The Bible for too long has been presented as a religious book when it is not a religious book at all. It has nothing to do with religion, okay? You were not born religious. I don't care how much you love your church, all right? I don't care how much you love your pastor. I don't care how much you love your choir. I don't care how much you love going out and doing outreach work. You were not born religious, okay? But you are a spirit in a flesh container, or somebody else said a meat suit, okay? Sounds kind of gross. But anyway, so I'm going to give you that scriptural format or that scriptural basis or foundation for today's video. And then I am going to show you some scriptural examples of the answer to this question. I'm trying not to answer it yet because I want to answer it in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to move from the scriptural foundation for today's video to giving you some biblical examples of the theme of today's video. Okay, and then I'm going to give you a few 3 New Testament verses, scripture verses that speak to divine feminine energy, divine feminine power. Okay, and then last but not least, I am going to show you the cosmic balancing act between divine feminine and divine masculine. Now, before we jump any further in, I'm working from my notes today, okay, which I should be doing anyway, right? Anybody that does this type of subject matter should be working from notes, unless you're that good, all right? All right, so just some points to keep in mind as we dig into the subject matter today. In today's video, we're discussing comparing and contrasting masculine and feminine energies, okay? Please keep in mind that this video is not a battle of the sexes and is not about men versus women. Our souls are energy and have no gender. And regardless of whether you are a male or a female, your body houses 7 major energy zones, also known as chakras, okay? And I'll put a diagram on the screen there so you can see what those chakras are called. I'm going to go over that in this video as well, all right? But your body houses 7 major energy zones, aka chakras, 3 of which are masculine and 3 of which are feminine, with the highest zone, number 7, being neither masculine nor feminine energy, but it's just a pure connection back to the ethereal realm, okay? Or some people say source, where you came from, all right? Okay, so I want to make that very clear. Some people are going to look at this introduction and they're going to say, oh, is this something about, some guy who's pro-feminism or whatever? No. I'm here to unequivocally say no. The answer to that is no. This is not about feminism, okay? Feminism, listen, I got a video on my channel. You can look at it. And I'm not going to beat up feminism because that's not what the basis of this video is. But I got a video on my YouTube channel that you can look at, and it illustrates how the 7 chakra system destroys feminism, okay? So no, this is not about feminism. So I want to put that out there right now. And if you want my opinion, I'm going to give it to you up front. Y'all know I don't, listen, I don't sugarcoat anything. I got that from my mom and my dad, though my mom is a lot more because she's less likely than my dad to sugarcoat anything, and she will tell you that. She's going to give it to you straight, no chaser. In my opinion, feminism, you know what? I'll save that. But let me say again, watch my video on how the 7 chakra system destroys feminism, and then you'll know that I'm not here for feminism, okay? I'm not even gonna say that word anymore. Now, okay? So there's a new age upon us, okay? There's a new age upon us. I'm going to show you some scriptural references that talk about the coming age, okay? So when you hear age, you hear people talk about age with regards to the cosmos, with regards to astrology. Age is in the Bible, all right? I told you the Bible's a spiritual book. It's not religious. Age is in the Bible. And I'm not talking about like age in years, how many years old somebody is. I'm talking about a cosmic age. The Bible, let me get off of that, okay? Now, the next theme is that polarizing energies must always be balanced, okay? They must be balanced. And you're going to see that theme in this video today. Masculine energy and feminine energy have to be balanced, okay? They have to be balanced in us. They have to be balanced in the earth. They have to be balanced in the cosmos for everything to operate functionally. Okay, we can see when those energies are not balanced because they manifest in dysfunctional behavior. Okay, all right. Now, divine masculine energy, and again, I'm going to go over those chakras so that you can see what those are a little bit later in the video, but in today's video, we're going to understand by the end of it that divine masculine energy has ruled the earth for a long time now, okay? But that polarity is now being reversed. We're seeing it, we're feeling it, okay? We're sensing it. Anybody who's awake and plugged in can feel what's happening in the earth, okay? It is just a rebalancing of the energy, okay? Masculine power and energy is physical. Feminine power and energy is spiritual. Okay, I'll say that one more time. Masculine energy, masculine power is physical. Masculine, it's physical. Masculine energy and power is physical. Feminine power and energy is spiritual. It's spiritual, okay? Now, again, energy is energy. This has nothing to do with a man or a woman. Men have both masculine and feminine energy, whether you want to hear that or not, okay? Because the energy is just energy, and you're going to see that when we get to these zones. Women are both masculine and feminine, all right? So that's all I'm going to do in that introduction. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to go down to point number 2, which is the basis for this video, okay? And that basis is Jeremiah 31 and 22. I'll be back after this short break. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author Matt D. Talford. Welcome back to Maddie's Rap, and we are now going to proceed on to point number 2 of today's video topic. Was the return of the divine feminine energy in the earth that we're witnessing today foretold in scripture? Now, I know you guys have been waiting for me to answer that, and without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and answer the question for you. Some of you can probably already guess, but a smile on my face. The answer is yes. Yes. The return of the divine feminine, the rise of divine feminine energy and power was foretold in scripture. I gave you the scripture passage. Some of you probably cheated ahead and went ahead and pulled it up before you continued this video. Some of you just kept watching. I'm going to go ahead and pull that passage of scripture up right now. That comes from the book of Jeremiah, one of my favorite books, Bible books that is, and that is chapter 31, verse 22. Let's go there right now. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. All right. Now, to understand what is happening here, this whole 31st chapter of Jeremiah is end times / future prophecy of what was to become of the children of Israel, the biblical children of Israel. Y'all have seen enough of my videos to know who I'm referring to in the earth today when I say biblical children of Israel. Have these prophecies with regards to the children of Israel, these end time prophecies with regards to the biblical children of Israel taken place yet? No, they have not. Okay. No, they have not. But I'm not going to go down on that tangent or go off on that side road. I want to keep this video about the rise and return of the divine feminine. So, to stay on point here, some of you guys can go back. I just, for time's sake, did not want to read the entire chapter up to that point. But basically, this is end times prophecy where the Most High is speaking through the prophet Jeremiah and illustrating how he would recall the children of Israel back to the land that he gave them, the land that they once occupied, the land that he gave to their forefathers, that they were driven out of because of the sins of their forefathers. Notice it said forefathers and not foremothers. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that, all right? We're talking about divine feminine and masculine energy. We're not talking about men versus women. So, but I couldn't resist, y'all. You know I couldn't resist. Anyway, so shout out to all the moms out there that's doing the right thing, all right? And shout out to the daddies, too. I'm not daddy beating. I'm a man myself, all right? But I told you, this is not going to be about men versus women. So that's just my Capricorn sarcasm coming out a little bit. Anyway, let's get back to this. So in this chapter, he's talking about end times prophecies. And one of the things I found interesting here was verse 15. I'll skip backwards. I'll go to verse 15. It says, "Thus saith the Lord, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Rachel weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children because they were not," meaning they weren't there. Okay, her children was not there. A voice was heard in Ramah, that's some place in Israel, whatever. Lamentation and bitter weeping. Rachel weeping for her children. Now, let's break down that word Rachel. Okay, we know that word has Hebrew origins, but the term Rachel, people miss the actual original meaning of that name. You can break that name down into two parts: Ruach, Ruach-el. Ruach-el. There shouldn't be Rachel. It would be pronounced originally Ruach-el. There's a reason why I'm going here. Ruach is spirit. Okay, Ruach means spirit. Everybody can pretty much agree on that. El, short for Elohim, God. So spirit of God weeping for her children. That is the divine feminine aspect of the Most High. What did he say in the book of Genesis? He said, "Let us create man in our own image and our own likeness." And what does it go on to say? It says, in the beginning, he created them male and female, or male and female, he created them. So if we're created in the image of God and the likeness of God, and he created them male and female, and we have 6 even energy zones or chakras, 3 masculine, 3 feminine, then that means we are part masculine energy, part feminine energy, and we were created in the image and likeness of the Most High. Masculine energy with the Most High, feminine energy with the Most High. He's one God. He has masculine energy zones and feminine energy zones, okay? I told you, this is not about men and women. Men have masculine and feminine energy. Women have masculine and feminine energy. I'm going to get on into that later on. But I wanted to show you here that this was a preview of the divine feminine. A voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping. Raquel, you hear another name, Raquel. Raquel and Rachel is the same name, just a different spelling, okay? Same meaning, different vibration, because English changes sounds. They do that for a reason. That was done a long time ago for a reason, all right? I'm not going to get into that. But Raquel, spirit of God, weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children because they were not. That's the spirit. Also, we know that the earth, the land of Israel. It said a voice was heard in Ramah. That's land. That's a land area, okay? Land itself is feminine. Earth is feminine energy. I'm going to get onto that later. So I just wanted to take you down to a side street. My girl Ashley, you're probably laughing if you're watching this right now. He said he's going to always take you around the block to get you to the house next door. But let's get back on this, okay? So that scripture, again, let's go back down to verse 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man. What does that mean? What is a woman shall compass a man? Why is that future prophecy? Okay, this speaks to the return of the divine feminine. Okay, a woman shall compass a man. That means it's not here right now. If I say I shall do something or I will do something, that means at a future time. Okay, at an appointed time that is not right now. So a woman shall compass a man. Let's look up that word compass. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to the etymology, because I need you to see something, that when you see the term compass in the Bible, it's not talking about a device that you have in your hand that you use to get your direction or to find a waypoint. Okay. We are talking about, let's go to the etymology, online etymology. Okay. If you go to etymonline.com, and I've got the image here on the screen for you guys to see. Compass, the verb, it says a woman shall compass a man. That means that's the verb. Okay. Compass in scripture means to surround. Okay. Now it means to surround. Look here. It says to devise, plan, to surround, contain, envelop, and enclose. So let me give you another passage of scripture that speaks to this. Let me go to the book of Luke. We're going to keep this thing moving and keep it flowing. All right. We're going to go to Luke, and then we're going to come back to this. In the book of Luke, the 21st chapter and the 20th verse. All right. I'm using this as an example of compass. Okay. Another future prophecy that did happen. This part did happen already. This was the Messiah telling his disciples what was going to happen to Jerusalem about 3 decades after he left. All right. It says, and when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Okay, what happened in 70 AD? Jerusalem was compassed with 3 Roman legions. Okay, 3 Roman legions surrounded Jerusalem and then began a siege, which 5 months later ended in the complete destruction and the annihilation of the city, the temple, everything. Okay, remember what the Messiah told his disciples. He said, verily I say unto you, not one of these stones shall be left on top of the other. Okay, you can read The Wars of the Jews by Flavius Josephus, and he will tell you that it was a complete and utter destruction by the Romans. All right. So compass here, it says, when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies. What does that mean? That means to surround. Now the return, and I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off of this. OK, a woman shall compass a man. What that is telling you is that in the future, the women shall become the protectors of the men. If a woman's going to surround a man, there's only 2 reasons why you surround something militarily. OK, you surround it to defend it, or you surround it to go in on it. All right. In this case, it's talking about defense. Now, if we're moving into the age of spirituality and divine feminine energy, that means that the women, the women, it says here, a woman shall compass a man. That means that these women who were once the protectees will in the future become the protectors. Okay. Now, I want to make one more point for the fellas out there that's looking at like, oh man, can't no woman protect, blah, 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 blah. Listen, if we're moving into an age of spiritual power, you have to understand that even though men and women both have masculine and feminine energy zones, in the same way that a man operating in his masculine energy zones is going to be far more powerful than a woman operating in her masculine energy zones, likewise, a woman operating in her feminine energy zones is going to be more powerful than a man operating in his feminine energy zones. So therefore, if we're talking spirit is feminine energy, physical is masculine energy. So if this is telling you what the future is going to look like. Spiritual power is going to rule over physical power. Your physical power is going to be no match for spiritual power. It's giving you a preview of what's going to happen here. So it says a woman shall compass a man. We are now feeling and experiencing the rise of divine feminine energy in the earth. I'm going to get to that in part 5, where we talk about the cosmic balancing act. What's going on in the cosmos right now? Why are we feeling what we're feeling? Why are we seeing what we're seeing? Okay. So We're going to now move on to part 3, which is a review of the history. Okay, we're doing some history. Remember, Maddie's Rap, I'm scripture. I'm showing you how the Bible is a spiritual book. It is not a religious book. Okay, this is spirit, it's not physical. Okay, all right. Talking about the rise of feminine energy. Y'all, come on. Y'all stay with me. Stay with me. Okay. Okay, so part 3. Question for you. Have women ever compassed men before? Have women compassed men before? Has it ever happened before? The answer to that is yes. All right. There are 2 books in the Bible that illustrate how women protected and saved nations. Okay. It was not the men. It was the women operating in their feminine energy. Okay. All right. When have women compassed men in scripture, Matt? The book of Esther is the first example. You can read the book of Esther and see how Esther saved a nation. All right. Using her feminine, operating in her feminine energy, she was able to save a nation that the strongest men of her nation could not accomplish. The men could not accomplish what she did using her feminine energy. So that's example 1. I'm not going to get into the book of Esther because one of my favorite books throughout all the scripture, believe it or not, is the book of Judith. Okay, so if you do not have the book of Judith, it's not in the 66 books. You have to have a copy of the apocrypha. Okay, you can buy the apocrypha as a standalone printed book. You can download it as a standalone ebook or whatever, or you can get the app I prefer to use, KJVA, and I'll put a screenshot up of the what it looks like in the App Store or in the Apple App Store. It's also available in the Google Play Store for those of you that are on Android or whatever. But if you go to the book of Judith, you can read the account, okay, of how Judith, operating in the full strength of her feminine chakras or energy zones, and let's review those real quick. She was operating in her second chakra, which is the sacral chakra, feminine energy. That's the center of creativity and sexuality. 4, her heart chakra, which is the center of love, okay, where your love emanates from. That emanates from the 4th chakra, that's feminine. And 6th, the third eye, intuition, okay? How Judith, operating in the full strength of her feminine energy zones and just enough of her masculine energy zones, you'll see that in the book of Judith too. I would love to read that for you guys, but that would make this video too long. So I just wanted to give you a synopsis, okay? You can read about how she used the full strength of her feminine energy zones and just enough of her masculine energy zones, root chakra, okay? That's the center of safety and security. She did what she did by herself, okay? She had her female servant come with her. That's 2 women. She had a female servant come with her. She's like, let's go, girl. Let's go do this. These men can't get it done. They cowering in the city right now. They ready to give up. But they forgotten who their God was. Let's go show these men. Let's go show them what they were supposed to do. All right. Book of Judith is powerful. All right. And I want to say that this was an Israelite woman. Okay. Y'all know who the Israelites are. I've broken it down before. And I say that as a shout out to the most downtrodden woman in modern history. Not ancient history, the most downtrodden woman in modern history. Y'all know who you are, and Maddie loves y'all, baby. Maddie loves y'all. So shout out to y'all. When you're reading the book of Judith, you're reading about one of your foremothers, all right? Let me say that. Let me leave that right there for you. And if some of y'all think that's too whatever, I'm sorry. I love, don't get me started. Sorry, I didn't mean to tap the microphone with my watch there. I love my mother. I love my grandmother. I love my aunts. I love my sister. I love a lot of y'all who I call soul sisters, soul tribe members. I love y'all. I ride hard for y'all. So I want y'all to know that the story of Judith is the story of the power that you got inside of you. All right. Now, let me get back off of that. All right. How Judith went and used her full strength of her feminine energy zones and just enough of the masculine energy, the root chakra. Okay. That's the center of safety and security. She did that by herself. She didn't ask for no help other than her assistant coming with her. And that was part of her plan. Her plan, okay? That plan was devised out of that sacral chakra, the feminine energy zone, the center of creativity. She formulated a plan, and she was able to ride that plan on top of that root chakra because she had enough safety and security and faith in the Most High that she was going out to go get this done, all right? She wasn't going out expecting to take an L. She was going out expecting to get a win, and she came back with one. Okay, she used her just enough of her solar plexus, that self-confidence. I just talked about that, and she used just enough of her 5th chakra, her throat chakra. Okay, she used her voice to admonish the men and the elders of Judah. She told them off. She basically said, "Man, y'all a bunch of punks." I ain't gonna say what I want to say because I know my nephew might be watching this, but it starts with that same first letter, punks. All right, y'all know what I want to say. She said, y'all a bunch of punks, man. Y'all a bunch of punks cowering behind these city walls and about to die of starvation and thirst and gonna surrender. These people gonna kill y'all anyway when they get up in here because y'all scared. Man, get out of here. I got this. All right. A woman compassed a man. Y'all go check that out. Not only did she use that throat chakra to admonish the men of Judah, she used that throat chakra to address her enemy directly. I ain't gonna give the story away. Y'all gotta go read it. It's one of the most beautiful and fascinating stories of the love of a woman for her country, the love of a woman for her nation, that she would go out there and put herself in harm's way, knowing that she was the only one who could save them because these dudes was acting like a bunch of cowards and punks. Talking about the return and rise of divine feminine energy. This was another example of how a woman compassed a man. So before y'all hard heads be like, oh man, ain't no woman protecting me. Yeah, we did the protecting in the physical age, but the physical age is gone and we're now in the spiritual age. I'm going to talk about that when I get to part 5, all right? So that was part 3. Have women compassed men before? Yes, they have. And that is in scripture. I told y'all, I'm showing it to you in scripture. I'm not making this stuff up. Y'all know I'm a writer, but I didn't write this, all right? Or did I? I mean, I don't know. We've all been here before, right? Who's to say I didn't write it? I don't know. Anyway, all right. So moving on to part 4. I've got for you 3 New Testament scriptures, 3 New Testament passages of scripture that speak to the power of divine feminine energy. And this has been right in front of our faces. We've heard this in church Sunday in, Sunday out. We've heard it in Bible study. We've heard it from Bible teachers on YouTube or whatever. We've heard these 3 passages of scripture our entire lives if you're into the Bible, all right? And we did not even know that this was speaking to divine feminine energy, divine feminine power, okay? Let's talk about it. And again, this is not women worship. Y'all know me. Those of y'all who know me, y'all know me, all right? This is not women worship. This is giving respect to a power that exists in each and every one of us, all right? It is a power that exists in each and every one of us, okay? Is it more amplified in women? Absolutely. If you're a female operating in feminine energy, it's going to be more amplified. If you're a male operating in masculine energy, it's going to be more amplified. This is why men can walk into a business dealing or whatever, or they can walk into a situation where they have to use their voice, and they're going to be far more effective than a woman using her voice within a group of men, even within a group of women. There's just something authoritative about a man accessing that 5th chakra. Bottom line, okay? Now, women are still powerful there too. Don't nobody want to hear their mom fussing at them. You rather your daddy fuss at you sometimes. But we ain't gonna make this about fussing, all right? So, on to those 3 passages of scripture. The first passage of scripture comes from the book of 1 Corinthians, okay? This is 1 Corinthians 13 and 13. Let's put it on the screen for you. 1 Corinthians 13 and 13, an illustration of divine feminine energy. Now abideth faith, hope, and charity, or love, okay? You love, charity, same word. Use them synonymously, interchangeably. Now abideth faith, hope, and love. These 3. But the greatest of these is love. Where does love come from? That comes from that 4th chakra, the heart. That is feminine energy. The greatest of these, of faith, hope, and love, is love. Love is an operation of the 4th chakra. 4th chakra is a feminine chakra. That's feminine energy. All right. Example number 2, 2 Corinthians 10 and 3 through 4. Let's go to 2 Corinthians here. I wish this app that I'm using just skipped you right to it, but I'm getting faster at this. 2 Corinthians 10. Okay. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. What does that say, Matt? For though we walk in the flesh, physical, masculine, physical, okay? We do not war after the flesh. Now, when it says war after, it is saying in the style of. So though we walk in the flesh, we don't war using the flesh. This is pretty much what that means. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, they're not fleshly, but are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. If they're not carnal, if they're not flesh, then there's only one other thing they can be. That's spirit, okay? Spirit, carnal, flesh, masculine, okay? If the weapons of our warfare are not ones that you use that are physical weapons, then they're spiritual weapons, all right? And the spiritual weapons are the ones that are mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. Okay? All right. Last example, that's feminine energy. That's not masculine energy. They just told you right there, our weapons are not masculine. The weapons we use are not of the masculine energy zone type. But means it's something else. The only other thing it can be is feminine. Okay, the feminine energy type. So if you're not operating using those 3 feminine energy zones, okay, then you're using fleshly ones. Period. Let me get off of that. The last example is Ephesians, the 6th chapter and the 12th verse. Y'all ain't gonna get 20 minutes, you already know. But this is rich, I hope. And I hope you guys are enjoying it. Okay? Hope you guys are learning something. Because whether you like it or not, the earth is now returning to operation using divine feminine power and energy. Okay? And feminine does not mean woman. Okay? It's just energy. Okay? Energy is neither male nor female. Okay? Energy is not man or woman. Energy is not an embodiment where our bodies hold energy. The energy itself is of the divine. Okay. Now, Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. It's telling you right there. We wrestle not against flesh and blood. If you're not wrestling against flesh and blood, then you're wrestling against spirit. So therefore, for you to overcome spirit, you got to use spiritual tools. Flesh and blood, masculine; spirit, feminine. We're talking about the rise of feminine energy. Feminine energy is required to overcome that spiritual wickedness in high places. You got to operate in spirit. If you operating in physical, they got you. They got you. But if you operating in spirit, you're like, okay, now what? I'm here now. Now what? Your time to go. Light always drives out darkness. Light always drives out darkness. Remember that. All right. So that concludes the New Testament examples. All right. That was number 4. So I'm going to take another quick break, and then when I come back, we're going to go over the number 5, which is the Cosmic Balancing Act. Okay. That Cosmic Balancing Act is proof positive of the rise and return of divine feminine power. We're going to talk about that, and then we're going to wrap up after this final break. You're watching Maddie's Rap with author Matt D. Talford. Maddie's Rap, and we're getting ready to wrap up this episode. Was the return of the divine feminine energy that the earth is experiencing right now foretold in scripture? It absolutely was. All right. So here in part 5 now, just as a recap, we've gone through parts 1, which was the introduction, the breakdown, part 2, which was the foundation, Jeremiah 31 and 22. Part 3, have we seen women being the protectors and defenders of men before in scripture? Absolutely. Check out the books of Esther and Judith. Okay. And then part 4, what are 3 New Testament scriptures that speak to the return of divine feminine power, divine feminine energy? Broke those down. Okay. 1 Corinthians 13 and 13, 2 Corinthians 10 and 3 through 4, and Ephesians 6 and 12. And so now we're going to wrap up by talking about how the way that the cosmos are balanced is proof positive of the rise and return of divine feminine power. Okay. Now, this is an observation that I made, or I should say this was a download that came to me. And as I pondered it, I'm like, you know what? That's absolutely true. It seems to be true. It seems to be correct. What are you talking about, Matt? There's a balancing act in the cosmos where whatever the energy of the present stellar age is, okay, and I'm talking about the stellar age of the earth and the cosmos, whatever that current stellar energy is, it seems that the opposite energy is what is ruling over the earth. Now, before I explain what that means, I want to do a quick recap of the division of masculine and feminine energies of the 12 star signs, or there's 12 zodiac constellations. Okay, star signs, star constellations, zodiac signs, all the same thing. Okay, there are 12 star constellations in the zodiac. Okay, and they are divided evenly. 6 of them are masculine, 6 are feminine. Okay, the 6 masculine energies are divided as such. 3 of them are fire and 3 of them are air. The 6 feminine energies are divided as such. 3 of them are water and 3 are earth. So, all told, fire energy, masculine. Air energy, masculine. Earth energy, feminine. Water energy, feminine. Okay? So, fellas, look, I know some of the hardest dudes I know out there, they're Cancers. Okay? Cancer is a feminine energy because it's water energy. Some of the hardest dudes I know are Pisces. Some of the hardest dudes I know are Capricorn, like yours truly. Okay? Those are Earth energy is Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. Okay? Water energy is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Those are feminine energies. Okay? Masculine energies, fire, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Okay? Air, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. Okay? So that's the breakdown of the division of masculine energy and feminine energy in the cosmos. Now, how does that apply to the current age? Well, we know that the age of Pisces sort of unofficially ended with the great conjunction of December 21st of 2020. Okay? Everybody knows about that cosmic event, the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter, that signaled the end of the age of Pisces and the beginning of the age of Aquarius. Now, let's look. Pisces is what? We just named that. Pisces is water energy. Water energy is feminine energy. Okay? All right? And if y'all need a breakdown of that, I mean, we know that the earth bears fruit. Things grow. Didn't mean to hit the microphone. Things grow in the earth. Okay? Water nourishes the earth as well. So these are, water is what holds a baby before a baby's encapsulated in water before it's born. Those are feminine energies. Okay? Earth holds seed in it, or it holds fruit in it, or whatever, vegetables or trees before they sprout up and are born for us to see. Same as with water energy. One's earth, one's water. Okay, they provide nourishment. Water provides nourishment, earth provides nourishment. Anything that nourishes is feminine energy. Okay, fire, it provides warmth, it provides security, it destroys. That is masculine energy. Air, the wind blows, the wind blowing can cool, it can knock down, it provides. That's all masculine energy as well. So, water, earth, feminine, air, fire, masculine. Now, Pisces, we just left the age of Pisces. The age of Pisces ended unofficially December 21st, 2020. Okay? Now, Pisces is what? Feminine energy. So the age was feminine. To balance that, and this is an observation. But as I said here, it seems that whatever the present stellar age is, the dominant energy in the earth is the opposite. So during the age of Pisces, which was a feminine age, masculine energy dominated the earth. Well, guess what? It has flipped now. We're now in the age of Aquarius. Aquarius is masculine energy, so the energy that will now dominate the earth is feminine. That is how these things are kept into balance. That is an observation that I made. You can go back, you can look it up. You can go back past the age of Pisces, which would be the age of Aries. Look at the age of Aries. Anybody who's a historian, look at what type of things were happening in the earth during the age of Aries, okay? So you went from the age of Aries to the age of Pisces, from the age of Pisces to the age of Aquarius. In this Aquarian age, feminine energy is going to rule the earth, okay? Now, wanted to just give you that breakdown, okay? So I gave it to you. I gave you Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius, Aquarius, masculine energy, Capricorn, Pisces, Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, feminine energy. Now, so back to the explanation of the aforementioned divine balancing act. Okay, or actually, I went over that already. So, we talked about the age of Pisces. Age of Pisces, feminine energy, but during it, masculine energy ruled over the earth. What do we have during the age of Pisces? We had a bunch of wars. We had a bunch of fighting. We had people being ruled with words and speech. Religion is words and speech, okay? Hey, do this, do this. They were ruling over them with words and speech, okay? All right? That was masculine energy. During the age of Pisces, there was an abundance of the because I said so energy. That's speech, all right? That's the fifth chakra. That's the throat chakra. Do it because I said so. Harsh rule. That was masculine energy. Did it start out that way? I would have to say no. I would have to say no, because these things go in cycles. So, one comes in to correct the other when it's becoming hyper. When it's becoming hyper too much, the other energy rises to balance it back out. And then we go like this. It's almost like an ocean wave, all right? So here in the beginning of the age of Aquarius, we're going to see the beauty and the power of divine feminine return to balance out and wash out this over masculinity that we have in the earth that is resulting in destruction. I just told you fire destroys, okay? Fire destroys. Wind, too much of it destroys. Okay, look at a hurricane. That's wind power. Okay, it destroys. So when it's too much, it destroys. When it's not too much fire, it provides warmth. When it's too much, it becomes destruction. When there's not too much wind, it provides cooling. It provides dispersion of seeds. Okay, it's beautiful. When it becomes too much, it blows stuff down and destroys. Okay, so we're gonna at some point in the future, a few thousand years or whatever, it's going to be too much feminine energy, and the masculine energy will rise up to balance that out. Okay, that's how these things go. We're talking about cosmic energy here. Okay, and a lot of this stuff, again, the Bible talks about different ages. All right, there's some scriptures you can look at that talk about age here. In fact, I highlighted I want to say about maybe 4, 5, or 6 of them, talking about the age. Mark 10 and 30 is one. Okay, I'm not going to read those. You can look them up. Luke 18 and 30. That's another one. Let's see. What's another one you can look at there? Talking about the age. Luke 20 and 34 through 36. All right. And then Ephesians 2 and 7. So those are some examples you can read to talk that where the scripture is talking about ages. What age is it talking about? Age is cosmic. That's cosmos. OK, that is astrology. People want to say that there's no astrology in the Bible, or the astrology is demonic, or that's the devil. Stop it. Stop it. Everything is about intent. OK, a knife. If you need a knife to cut a rope or to cut something open for you, you're cutting meat, or you're chopping up some vegetables or something like that, you need a blade. That is righteous use. What is the intent? Now, if you take that blade and you try to cut somebody with it, all right, for no reason, you're not defending yourself, whatever, that is unrighteous use of it. So everything is about intent. Things that are inert until somebody uses them. The use is put into effect by an intent. All right, so now let's stop that. There is astrology in the Bible for those of y'all that think that that isn't in there. What is age? Age is astrological. Let's get it on. Let's keep moving. All right, so those are some Bible verses that you can look at that have to deal with age. Okay, so again, I gave you guys a quick review of the masculine energy zones. First chakra is the root energy. It is safety, security, strength, and grounding. That is what goes with the first chakra. Those are masculine energy zone number 1. Masculine energy zone number 2 is the third chakra, the solar plexus. What is the solar plexus responsible for? It's responsible for self-confidence, self-esteem, boldness, and willpower. Okay? And then we got the fifth chakra, which is the final masculine energy zone of the body. It is the throat. It is responsible for speech, voice, words. That is the fifth chakra. Okay? Now that we're in the age of Aquarius, because the age is masculine, it is now time for the feminine energy to rule the earth, because feminine energy is required to balance a masculine age. The age is masculine, you need feminine energy to balance it. When the age is feminine, you need masculine energy to balance it. Now, we're seeing some rough stuff happening in the world right now. Why? Because power is never given up. It's usually seized. The masculine energy that has turned dark and cold, that is ruling the earth right now, that is responsible for all of this, almost dropped an expletive, responsible for all this messed up stuff that's happening in the earth right now. That energy does not want to let go of power. It is gone long and turned corrupt. It does not want to let go of power. So the earth itself. And the earth is feminine. Let's just say that. I just said earth energy is feminine. The earth is feminine. The earth is like, all right, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Okay. So that's what's happening. What else? What can we expect to see in this new age of Aquarius? We can expect to see an abundance of creativity, love, and free flowing knowledge. Okay. Wisdom and love will rule as opposed to force. So force has ruled for all of these years. Now, wisdom and love are going to rule the earth. Wisdom, knowledge, and love. Those are all feminine energies, okay? Love, that's chakra number 4. Wisdom and knowledge, that's chakra number 6. Believe it or not, your third eye, okay? Let's do a quick review of the feminine energy zones, all right? Chakra 2, sacral. The sacral chakra is the creation force. It is sexuality. It is also your lower gut. I got a gut feeling. That's that lower gut. That's the sacral chakra. It is linked to the higher feminine energy zones 4 and 6, okay? Which are also linked to the root chakra, all right? Chakra number 4 is the heart chakra. It is the center of feelings and emotion, okay? And then the sixth chakra, which is the final feminine chakra or energy zone, is the third eye chakra. It is the center of your perception, okay? This is why you hear people say all the time, man, you can't fool a woman, you can't get anything by her, whatever, unless she's acting naive. If she ain't being naive, you're not fooling her. You might think you are, but you're not fooling her. Why? Because her perception is more amplified than yours is if you're a man. Why? Because she is a woman, a female, operating in her feminine energy when she's accessing that sixth chakra, which is the third eye chakra, okay? Now, all of the chakras are inextricably linked. The lowest chakras must be guarded and kept strong at all costs. Why? Because they are the foundation for the higher chakras that sit above them. If the foundation is not solid, one will experience varying degrees of dysfunction in the higher chakras, okay? You take, for example, a house. When you build a house on a strong foundation, everything everything inside of that house is going to be sturdy and stable. But you put a house on a weak foundation and that foundation starts getting shifty. How are you going to know? You're going to start seeing cracking in the walls. You're going to start seeing your doors and windows do funny things. You may see some warping in the floor, in some of the floors. You may see warping in the ceiling. All of that are signs that that foundation is not a strong and solid foundation. So likewise, it works the same way in your body. You got to guard and protect and shore up those lower chakras. That root chakra, that is the most important one. That is your masculine energy, but that is the most important one. It's the base. It is the root. When you feel safe and secure, then you can operate. You're safe to operate in the higher chakras, okay? Operate properly. You're safe to. Feminine energy. Your lowest chakra in the feminine zone, your lowest feminine energy, I should say, is the sacral chakra. We just said that's the center of your sexuality. You got to be careful who you lay with. Okay, you look. Listen, when that sacral chakra is not properly functioning, then those other feminine zones are going to fool you. Your heart may fool you. Your perception might be clouded by what's going on in that sacral chakra. I know I'm teaching right now. Same thing with the men. If your root chakra ain't good, then your solar plexus, your self-confidence is going to be shaky when you don't have that solid root. Okay, your throat. If your self-confidence is shaky, then your throat chakra is going to be shaky. You're not going to speak because you're like, what are they going to say? Am I going to make somebody mad? No, your throat chakra ain't operating properly because you don't have that root or that solar plexus operating properly. Same with women. You got a woman that's got a weak solar plexus chakra. Guess what? She ain't got that confidence in herself. She ain't got that where's my notes? She ain't got that self-esteem. She ain't, listen, look at how many guys, I know I'm taking it aside here, but I need to teach this. This is coming through me. Look at how many guys take advantage of women who they say have low self-esteem. I've met some of these guys before. They're like, oh yeah, man, she fine, but she got low self-esteem. Oh yeah, man, that's easy. Man, that's like shooting fish in a barrel, man. Yeah, man, I'm gonna spit game at her. Boom, I'm gonna get that. Why? Because she got low self-esteem. Now, a woman with high self-esteem, a dude gotta approach her differently. He gotta approach her with a little bit more respect. She, I'm not putting up with that. Who you talking to? You gonna respect me? How many times have you heard you gonna respect me? Whoa, my bad, I'm sorry. What you do? You put that dude, you put him on guard immediately. You stand him at attention, as we said in the Army. You stand him at attention immediately when you got self-confidence, okay? When you got self-esteem. When that self-esteem low, when that self-esteem weak, guess what? That's opening up access to your heart chakra to get hurt. That's opening access to your sacral chakra to hope that this person you about to do something with is going to treat you right. Nah, you got to work on your self-esteem. Work on your self-confidence, okay? Then you're going to attract the higher vibrational people. I don't know why this is coming through me, but it is, okay? So you got to work on those lower chakras. You got to shore up those lower chakras, because if your lower chakras are weak, then your higher ones are going to fool you. You know, you might think you're perceiving something in that sixth chakra, but because you got dysfunctions in the chakras beneath them, you might be perceiving wrong. I'm just saying that. So shore up those lower chakras. Work on those. What are some ways we can do this, Matt? Believe in yourself, okay? But also, if I know that sounds cliche, believe in yourself. Well, how do I do that if I already ain't got no self-confidence? Listen, guys, I did a video some time ago talking about sound frequencies and music frequencies. You can listen to chakra balancing music. I listen to 7 chakra balancing frequencies every morning before I get up. As soon as I wake up, boom, I pop that on. Okay, I'm like, let me make sure that my chakras are tuned. Man, how's music gonna do that? Look in the Bible. Those of you, listen, y'all know I talk a lot about scripture. Look at how David used his harp to cure maladies. You can look that up in the scripture. Your body is water, okay? Your body is a lot of water there. So guess what? Water, sound frequencies affect the water in your body. You want to see shapes in water? Put a glass of water out and get you one of the Bluetooth speakers or something and shoot different sound frequencies at that and look at what that water does. I've seen videos where they put salt or something, or these little crystals or whatever, that, black salt or whatever, on a little piece of drum, and they play different frequencies through that. Watch the shapes watch the geometric shapes that are made by those sound frequencies. Sound frequencies affect your body. Okay, they affect your body. This is why you got to be careful of the music you listen to. Certain music can put you in a bad mood. Certain music can put you in a good mood. You don't know why you're walking around angry. It's some frequencies coming through the airwaves. Okay, so those are things I do to help to shore up my different energy zones. And I can put some links to some of my favorite ones in the description box there. But I listen to sound frequencies to tune my chakras. If I feel like I'm hurting here because of something that happened, I'll go play some heart chakra balancing music. Okay. Some of y'all thinking about things that happened to you in your past. There's these frequencies called heal inner child wounds. You can listen to those frequencies. There are things that you can do to heal your energy zones through music. Okay, music is such an important force. It is such an important force. That's why you got to be careful of what you listen to. Listen to things that make you feel good. If it makes you feel bad, it sparks a type of negative emotion, you might not want to listen to that. All right. So I don't know why spirit took me that way, but I had to go there. So as I get ready to wrap this up, okay, why does it seem that the earth goes through these cycles? I have a theory on that. My theory is that every new age begins with righteousness. I just said that earlier. Every new age begins with righteousness. But as the age progresses, the dominant energy seems to grow corrupt, which gives rise to the opposite energy, which is required to balance it out. Okay? Perhaps toward the end of the age of Aries, the feminine energy in the earth had grown corrupt, and pure, warm love, coming from the heart, gave way to coldness and hard-heartedness. Righteous creativity, perhaps gave way to wicked inventions, and perhaps righteous knowledge and perception gave way to darkness, and masculine energy was required to replace that corrupt feminine energy. So perhaps what happens here is that muscle is required now to break down that corrupt feminine energy. So you saw the rise of the masculine. Obviously, it started out righteous because it's new. Think about a baby when it's born. That baby is pure until, as that baby lives, the information that's put into it can cause that baby to grow and continue to thrive with righteousness, or that baby can become corrupt based on the environment that it's in and what's being poured into it. Same way with these ages, okay? So, I think the same can be said for the exiting age of Pisces and the blossoming age of Aquarius. Pure love and righteous creativity, enlightened knowledge and wisdom are required to restore balance to this earth that has become damaged and corrupt from dark masculine energy. Too much wars, too much fighting, too much bloodshed, too much ruling over people with words, okay? Too much trying to control people's minds with words. That fifth chakra. If they don't go with it, then you're accessing the fleshly carnal weapons. Okay, carnal weapons of warfare. What did the prophet? What did the apostle Paul say? Our weapons are not carnal, but are mighty for the tearing down of strongholds. Okay, so that's what's happening now. Paul even saw it. Okay, these things were foretold. This is the end of the dark masculinity in the earth, and it's being replaced by righteousness and righteous feminine energy. This ain't about man or woman, okay? This is about the feminine energy that is inside of all of us, the divine feminine energy in us, the divine masculine energy, okay? When you are balanced, people know. You radiate high, you vibrate high, people want to be in your presence when you're balanced. When you're not balanced, the people that are in your presence, they're either there to get something from you or they're there because they're scared of you, okay? That could be either masculine or feminine, okay? When your feminine energy ain't balanced right, and people are around you, they must want to get something from you, because who wants to be around unbalanced energy? If your masculine energy ain't right, people who are around you, they probably scared of you, okay? We saw that in The Wizard of Oz with the Wicked Witch, okay? Those minions that were working for her, they were scared of her. She had hyper masculine energy, okay? And she was using her feminine energy for the wrong thing. As soon as the Wicked Witch got killed by Dorothy throwing that water on her, y'all go watch my Wizard of Oz video, how the Wizard of Oz is an illustration of soul purpose, how to promote that. Check that out, okay? But that's all I got. So I want to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on today's subject matter? Do you feel like the earth is going through this transition because of the things we talked about? There's hyperactive masculine energy, and the masculine and feminine energy are not balanced. What are your thoughts? I want to hear from you guys. Leave me a comment below. Let's open up some dialogue around this. When you guys are commenting, keep in mind, you're not just commenting with me. You're commenting with anybody else that reads the comments, okay? And somebody will respond to your comment or whatever. Let's open up a dialogue about this. Because whether we like it or not, the divine feminine energy in the earth is rising as it was prophesied. It was prophesied in scripture. I showed you in the scripture in the book of Jeremiah. We know that Jeremiah was a prophet. He called future prophecies, and boom. One day, this book, the Bible as we know it, is going to be closed up, and you're not going to see this Bible anymore. There's some new books that are already waiting. There are new books written that are already waiting to replace these old texts. These texts go with this age. Once this age goes out, these texts will be no more. There will be new texts that apply to them. This is how these things work. Listen, I'm an award-winning author. You guys can check out my work in the links below. From Fear to Faith, a Survivor Story, a story of how mindset can help you to overcome the absolute worst of circumstances and then stuck in an elevator. A tale of passion and self-discovery that takes place high above the Los Angeles skyline. In it, you will learn the theme. Do not judge a book by its cover, all right? I love you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support over the years. Again, if you're new to the channel and you like this video, hit that subscribe button. Listen, give me a thumbs up button. Guys, I need you guys to hit the thumbs up so that this video propagates and more people see it. We need people talking about this. The age of masculine energy dominating the earth is over. It's over. Let it go. Let it go. And for the men who don't want to let it go, understand that you have feminine energy in you too. But if you don't want to let it go, it means that you need to be brought into alignment. All right? Balance your energies out. Balance them out. I love you guys. Tell somebody you love them and mean what you say when you say it. And the number one way that you can illustrate that you love someone is through your actions, not just your words. Take care. Peace.